Hi everyone, I'm back with this really cool, fun, simple one-page wonder. And also, if you don't have a tab punch, we're going to do these DIY tabs, which is so easy. But this is just, let's think outside the box here. Kind of tired of doing the same thing, so trying to switch it up. But I've got this fun tag album, and you open it, and I was inspired by my last video, making a window with the passport book. So I actually made this a window here just to kind of dress it up, and then you just open it. You have your little tag pocket in here, and then you also have this on the side, which this is just really fun to put together. I just had a lot of fun with the ink. And then you turn it around and you still have your other pocket, and I have just put, this is just a tag full album, but obviously you can fill it with pictures, or I feel like during the holiday, if you make one, you could put like hot chocolate on the side and maybe gift card, or, things like that. Or if you want to, maybe make like a 3D version and make like a little treat box. Maybe if I can try to do something like that if you guys want something. All right, so this is so easy, obviously, and I'm going to show you how I get all of this out of one page, okay? I'm going to kind of do this with you. So the base here is going to be a 4x12 paper, okay? And then we're going to have two 4x8 1/4 papers. There's me two of them. I just want you to see how it's going to look, so how we're going to get it. And then we're going to have those two little, which I didn't measure, the leftover squares from these little pieces here, okay? So they'll kind of just, that will create the 12-page, one-page wonder, not 12-page wonder. So let's just kind of start with the base, which is, you can just fold this in half, or you can score it at the 12-inch mark, and we'll score it at 6 inches. So I'm going to do that just to keep it clean. And I am going to be inking quite a bit because I feel like that helps make this album. So this is going to be the base right here. And I didn't like corn around this or anything, but I am going to ink it a bit, and I'm going to use the vintage photo because it's so pretty. So I'm just going to ink this up. And I'm also going to go ahead and seal this for my pocket. So I'm going to make a little notch here, but I'm going to be using this tab, just for this. You could use just a regular circle punch, but I just like the way this looked. So it just looks like that. That's just my go-to when I'm tired of seeing the notches. I love the notches, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I just want to switch it up and make it look a little different than, some of the other tutorials. Got to have a little bit of something different. Sorry, I'm trying to get my glue unstuck here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make my pocket. And we're just going to basically keep that right there. And then you have your little side pocket, okay? So we got that out of the way. Now let's do the next two pieces. So you've already seen probably my measurements, which are the 4. You're going to have two sheets of these, the 4x8 1/4. And this is basically going to be our thing. So you kind of got to see where you're at, how you want it to look. I'm going to, I shouldn't have made my punch. I realize I'm just going to cover it. I'm going to put mine, let me see. Just make, the one's going to be this cover and then one's going to be in the back. So just kind of take that with a grain of salt. So let's go ahead and score these real quick. Sorry, I was just messing with that for a minute. So we're going to take these, get your little regular pocket out of the way. We don't need that right now. And at the 8 1/4 inch score, we're going to score it at 5 1/4. So 5 1/4. So let me see. I'm gonna do it like this. No, actually, I'm gonna do it like this. 5 1/4. So it's gonna go like this, and that's how you're gonna get your little piece. And we're gonna do that again on this one. Wait, let me see how this is gonna look. I got it. So I'm trying to use the back. So 5 1/4. Okay, so they're both going to look like that. Now, sorry, I'm confusing myself here. So it's going to look like this when you have it, and your pocket's going to go inside, because it's going to go like this on here. And then we're going to do our thing. So before you do that, obviously, if you want your window, you're going to have to take a die and just tape it on here like this and run it through your runner. Don't go like this because you'll end up cutting your pocket. You want to just run it straight through and create a window. And I have actually already done that. So I'm just gonna actually get rid of one of these, and I'm going to use this, and I'm gonna do all of that over here, like everything that I did. So I'll show you what I did, which is just easily cut this. Now, if you want, you can do something like this so yours match, but you just take that and then you can copy the other one. But if your first cut, my trick is just grab it and copy it. So, but for the other piece, you can do what I just did. And then you're gonna have your little tag right there. And then once you ink it and everything, it's gonna all look like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then you're gonna have two of these. One with a window, one without. But of course, you're welcome to go ahead and make two windows if you want. And so those last scraps that I have, that's how we're gonna make our little tag. So I wanted to use every little piece of our scraps with this paper. Okay. No, I just ink that. That's okay. I'm just gonna rub it because I kind of messed that up. I'm gonna have to go a little more heavier on this. All right. So once you have your two little things, just know your pockets go this side. And again, I should have put that higher. I forgot about my pocket. But also, let's take these and kind of put them together. And if you're using a circle punch, use that. I'm just using my little tab punch here, just to make sure they're even. And go ahead and grab some of my acetate. And by the way, guys, my glue, I did try it because usually my older glues used to not work well with acetate. This one, I can use my acetate just fine, and it sticks on. So here's that. I'm gonna just pop that on. And like I said, my glue works just amazing. And I always link my glue. Everyone always asks. It's this Barely Art. They're my favorite glue in the whole world. I did use the art glitter glue and I like it. I just always go back to my Barely Arts. And if you watched me in the beginning, you know that I struggled with glue so much. And then they had like contacted me to work with them, and I was sold. I was just like, yeah, sure, why not? But I didn't know it was gonna be like the best glue I ever used in my whole life for crafting. And I'm so sorry about that pocket looking wonky because I did it too early. And just know, be very forgiving with your paper. Like, use a paper with patterns that's not going to go upside down, but I just happened to do that because I loved this so much I didn't care. And hopefully you guys don't care either. Okay, and I got this. And then we're going to do our little tabs after this. Our DIY, I don't need a punch tab. So there's that. It's already looking so pretty. So let's do our little DIYs, which is pretty self-explanatory, right? I mean, you guys can kind of tell what I did. So we're going to take a circle punch, because I realize I use tabs all the time. And I'm like, you know what? Not everyone has a tab. So, and no one wants to go out and buy tools all the time. So what you're going to do is take your 2 little squares that you have left. Now, okay. I'm going to measure this because I feel bad if someone's reading captions. This is going to be, when you're done, a 3 by 3/4. Actually, yeah, because that's 3 1/2, 3 3/4 by 4 inches. Okay, so if you are wanting to just cut your own scraps, that's what they are. So doing this, and we're going to take, oh, how in the world did that glitter get on there? We're going to take our thing and just do this. I'm trying to see where I want my punch. However big you want it, small, I'm just kind of doing it like, not even halfway, but almost halfway. And I'm going to just cut it. I'm going to cut this. And if you want it to be exact, just take that corner that just flew off and do it again right here so they're even. And ta-da, we have our pretty little tab. And once you ink it, it's absolutely gorgeous, like as if we had a tab punch. How pretty, right? I've seen tabs done different ways. I haven't seen this. So maybe someone's done this, but I wish I had seen it a long time ago. Now I'm gonna do a little Brad. Oh, good morning, Bandit. He had his little shots yesterday, and I'm a very holistic person. I don't even like giving it to my dog, but he had to have all his little things yesterday, and it made me so sad because he was kind of lethargic. He usually doesn't get like that, so I'm like, did they give him too much? Okay, so I'm just putting that in, and I'm doing this before, and I'm just like gluing it. So I can't see, sorry guys. So it just looks like that. Looks very Tim Holtz-y, right? And then I just kind of go in there with my glue. And I'm going to just pop that on there. Wait, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to put that right here. And that's how I did this. So there's that little tab, and then we're just going to do one in the back. I really wanted to do it. I wanted to put this in the front, but just do the same thing again. And I'm not going to measure this, I'm just going to wing it. So sometimes I could see my damage after I cut it, but it looks fine to me. Okay, it does look a little wonky there, so I'm going to cut that again and just fix it. And then I'm just going to do the same thing. A little punch. Try not to go too down, because then you will not have room to glue. Excuse you, Bandit. He literally just burped, and he usually doesn't. He's not really a gassy dog. Shih Tzus are, I don't know, some people may, but he's actually he smells good a lot. All right, and not that I have anything against dogs that smell, because I love all dogs. So I got that. And then we can just put the twine or whatever, but let me just add something inside, because it's looking a little kooky right now without a tag or anything on it. So let me see. I did ink even this, because I felt like everything needed to be inked. If we're inking all this, everything needs to be inked. It's got to look, that whole vintage look to it. Oh gosh, I almost got that on there. Let me see through here. I kind of wish I had put maybe So this one had a very light pattern, so I like how it looks with the pumpkin. So because that looks a little dark for me, I may take something like this and pop it on so it kind of shows through. Let me see how this looks. Yeah, I like that. So I'm going to just ink this up too. I don't want it to be like too much of a contrast there. I want it to kind of blend in the front. So I'm glad that worked out. I cut this out just in case I needed it for something, and it worked out perfect for this. And of course I had cut this before, but it still looks good. So yeah, I kind of like that a little bit better. And then you have your little side pocket, which I'm just going to borrow this little guy that I made and put that on the side. You could even make a little tab here on the side if you would like. And then we've got the back, and you can just stick whatever in there. And this one has a lot of extra space, so I wonder if I can put a little sticker on there just to liven it up a little bit. Maybe put something here. And maybe even some bats. There's a couple of them here. So we can add that on there. And I might even just like ink around them. I think that was a mistake. Let me blend that. Way to go, Michelle. Now I'm going to have to go around and do all of this to make it darker. But there. And then we're just going to add some of my little twine here. And pop that on. Sometimes I wish I could go back in time when I'm inking, but I'm sorry, I just can't on that one. And I don't tie it really tight because I want it to have that like pretty loose effect. So I just tie it here like this. Oh, the sun's finally coming out. It's been raining like crazy. Even my last video, like I told you guys, I felt like doing Halloween because it was gloomy and it's been still gloomy. So here we go. That's it. I really, really enjoyed this. I thought this was a lot of fun and hope you guys do too. Thanks, you guys.